Emeka, look, before you tell me about your new idea, I think you should just take your time and watch this video so that there will not be a problem between me and you. So, of course, everybody has a new shiny idea and they want to build the next Facebook, they want to build the next Google, they want to build the next Binance. And everybody has this idea. All Bolt do is that they offer services to people, to customers. But Bolt, you cannot watch movie on Bolt. I want to build an app that's like Bolt, but it has movies. You can order popcorn on the app and all that. Please, we beg you in the name of God, don't do it. Right? There are things you need to know, there are things you need to understand before actually going ahead to build an actual application. Number one thing I want to teach you is that softwares don't actually make money. Right? Understand my point. The software is actually a tool. It's just a tool to point you towards revenue. It's just a tool that is used to offer a service, and the service you're offering, the value you're offering, is what brings in money. And this is the mistake that a lot of people make. They assume that if I build the software is going to be very popular, it's going to be very big, and people are going to leave Facebook, they're going to leave Google, and automatically come to my software and give me all their money. Dudes and ladies, it doesn't work like that. A software is only a tool to generate profit or generate revenue. That's the number one thing you need to learn. It is not on its own, it does not generate revenue. It's only a tool to generate revenue. Point number two, you need to learn about the market. Example, you're trying to build the next Netflix. You need to do a proper study of that particular market to understand, is there an already existing market? How viable is this market? If I make an entry into this market, how long will it take me to get the first 10 customers, the first 15 customers, the first 20 customers? Is there a need in this market? And even if there is not a need in particular, can I share this market with the big guys? Let's look at a simple example of what Big Cola did in Nigeria, right? There was already an existing market with Coca-Cola and Pepsi, but Big Cola came in and built similar to Coke and made it a little bit cheaper, right? And they got a little bit of the market share. So you want to scale, you want to assess the market, analyze that market, and say, okay, can I take a very little piece of this particular market share? So the number 2 point is you need to learn about that particular industry you're building a software for. Okay, point number 3. And this is one place, personally, I've made a mistake with this. It has burnt me personally. I've learned very bitter lessons from this. Before you build anything, you need to ask yourself, how will it make me money? And how much money do I want to make? Do I want to make 10 million? Do I want to make 20 million in the first 1 year? Do I want to make 100 million in the first 1 year? And how am I going to make that money with this application, right? For example, if you're building subscription-based software, and you want to make ₦1 million and your service costs 1,000 naira per person, right? What that means is that you need to get at least 100,000 people on your application within the first year. If your service is going to cost 1 naira, what that means is you need to get 1 million people on your application within the first year. If you want to make $1 million on your application within the first year and it's a subscription-based model, then that means you need to get, if it's a $1 subscription-based model, you need to get 1 million customers to pay you $1 within the first year to make $1 million. So you want to ask yourself the revenue questions very fast. It's not something you think about when you have started building already. You want to do the press, the calculator, do the numbers. How many customers do I need to keep this business running month after month? How many customers do I need to keep the servers on, to keep the lights on, to keep the developers working, to keep the sales team and marketing guys working? So you want to crunch that numbers from day one. So when the idea hits you and you're happy about it, first of all, escape the entire excitement and start calculating how much, and how soon can I make this amount of money. So revenue should be the very first thing you are thinking about. Point number 4, sales and marketing. This is basically the entire business. The sales, the marketing, the operations. Now, you want to be able to, from day one, have a minimum list of 100 people you are going to reach out to when you eventually launch your product. So have that list generated where you can say, okay, this is 100 people that I have reached out to or I will reach out to, and have a base conversation with them and say, we're releasing this thing in like 2 months, in like 1 month, in 6 weeks. And what we're saying is that we need you to use it for free or use it for this amount of money. And after this amount of time, we would give you a better service, right? So, but the most important thing is don't just build, then chase people. Start chasing the people from the initial point of you even having the thoughts, you thinking about your revenue. Start chasing people. Start thinking of marketing strategy. Start thinking of go-to-market strategy. Start thinking of customer acquisition strategy. Start thinking of the cost to take to acquire one customer, the CAC cost per head, right? Start thinking of these numbers in terms of sales and in terms of marketing. Start thinking of the people you're going to hire for sales. If you don't have the resources to hire people, the tools you would use to drive sales and lead generation. Start thinking of these things from the day one. So of course I want you to build a software, but it's important you build a software that lasts in the market. So I'll quickly recap the 4 points I've made in this video. Point number 1, softwares don't make money. They are just a tool to drive revenue. Point number 2, you need to learn the industry that you're going to get into before you get into that industry. Have a lot of data about that industry. Know the numbers, know what that industry can deliver to you in terms of profitability and revenue. Point number 3, decide your revenue from day one. How much money do you want to make? How soon do you want to make that money? And how will you make that money in the industry? Let none of this data be based on assumption. Of course, you will punch the numbers. When implementing, they will not add up, but ensure you do the maths to ensure you know what exactly you want. The final point number 3, sales and marketing. From day one, start generating leads, at least 100 people that you want to have a discussion with before you launch the business. Thank you so much. Cheers, guys.